Hi everyone, this is Johnny here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now today I'm going to be talking about this wireless Bluetooth portable compact speaker. It's called the DUOTEN E7. These are actually currently going for like less than $30 on Amazon. And for the record, this speaker was actually sent to me by DUOTEN for the review and testing. But what I am going to share are actually my own opinions and thoughts. DUOTEN is actually seeing this video for the very first time at the same time as you. And as usual, I'll be very honest and very detailed. So I will actually include the timestamp for you if you decide to jump to any particular segment. And for those of you who actually missed the unboxing which I did for this particular speaker, feel free to click here to check it out and then come back again to this review. So I've been testing this for the past 2 to 3 weeks. Maybe you might be thinking, are there any issues? How's the sound, the design, the performance? Well, here are the 3 things I like and dislike about the DUOTEN E7 speaker. So let's start off with some of the basic features. Now the dimension, circumference is around 280 millimeters, the diameter is around 90 millimeters, and the height is around 118 millimeters. The weight is 437 grams. It uses rubberized physical tactile control buttons. The internal battery is 2800 milliamps. It uses Bluetooth 5.0. It has aux-in port. It uses USB-C for charging. It also has a dedicated micro SD card slot. There's a LED indicator. The internal, it actually has a 52mm trumpet or driver with X-based radiator. There is one built-in mic, and it is actually IPX7 waterproof rated. So in terms of the design, as you can see here, it's actually shaped like a can, or you may call it a cylinder. So the speaker is actually made generally, it's covered in ABS material, plastic material. The surface is actually matte finishing with a layer of like rubber-like texture, so which actually makes it pretty difficult to have scuffs and scratches. In the last couple of weeks, I actually bought it out with me, like for cycling and for hiking and for trekking. I even bought it out for a very recent staycation. As you can see here, the sides of the speaker, they actually curve inwards. As you can see here, they actually curved inwards. So on one end, you actually see the DUOTEN logo printed on a shiny black plastic cover, and then around it, it's like a milk, or it's like a rice white color rubber seal, right? And underneath it is the subwoofer and the RGB LED lights. Now on the other end is actually a closed bag with some basic product information. And you can see from here in the middle of the entire speaker is actually something that is just like a soft cotton mesh going around the entire speaker, but it doesn't really go the one complete circle. You can see from here there's a gap here. Alright, so this is where the controls are, the physical tactile controls and all the ports. There's actually a rubber cover here, and holding it in my hand, I feel that it's pretty solid. Gives me a feeling that it's very well constructed. It actually gives me the feeling that it can actually take some beating, and if I were to drop it accidentally, it wouldn't just bust open. Besides that, the cotton mesh in the middle, it actually provides an excellent grip regardless whether my hands are wet or they are oily, or if I'm actually wearing some gloves. Now the indented sides, it actually also makes it very easy for me to just grab it with my fingers. Now you can actually sit the speaker upright or on the side, and there is also a provided lanyard if you want to hook it to your bag and bring it wherever you go. In terms of connectivity, like I mentioned earlier, it actually uses Bluetooth 5.0. It supports the following Bluetooth profile. Transmission distance is actually said to be up to 20 meters unblocked. While I'm at home, I managed to actually achieve up to 9 meters with walls and objects in between before I start to experience some intermittent disconnections. Now in terms of the initial Bluetooth pairing, once I power it on, I will actually see a blinking blue LED light, and then there'll be a ding sound. to actually indicate that the speaker is entering pairing mode, and you just need to go to your Bluetooth menu, select E7, and then you will hear a dong dong ding. Sounds very weird, dong dong ding. Alright, and this is actually to indicate that the pairing is complete. Now interestingly, the DUOTEN E7 speaker can actually be paired with another E7 speaker via Bluetooth, of course, to actually create like a dual speaker system. This is to create an even more immersive audio experience. Now the first speaker will actually act as the main, and the second speaker will actually act as just a slave. But unfortunately, I only have one speaker, therefore I am unable to do a proper testing to see how this dual speaker system actually works. Now in terms of control, you can see here that there are actually 3 physical buttons here. The top is actually a volume up, this plus sign is actually a volume up, followed by this is as a power on off, and then the minus sign, this is actually for the volume down. Now the physical buttons, these 3 buttons, they're actually very responsive, even though they are actually kind of like protected with a layer of rubber. Now the button travel is very shallow, as you can see here, but the good thing is that the tactile feedback is not too stiff, so this means that you do not need to use a lot of strength to press down on the button. Now the 3 buttons you see here, each of them, it actually comes pre-installed with several commands. The plus button you see here, it's a single click for volume up. If you press and hold for 2 seconds, it will go to the next song. For the minus, 1 click is actually volume down. If you press and hold, it will be previous track. Now for the power on and off, a single click will be play and pause, or answer, or end a phone call. If you do a double quick tap, it will actually change the mode from maybe Bluetooth to aux in, or even to your micro SD card. If you press and hold for 2 seconds, it will be power on or off. And then if you press and hold for 8 seconds, it will actually do a factory reset. Now if you press and hold the plus and the minus, these 2 together, one time, you will actually be able to change the RGB light on top. Other than that, there's actually no dedicated smartphone app for additional controls and features. So let's talk about the very first thing I like, and that is actually the battery life. Now, the speaker actually has an internal battery of 2800 milliamp. DUOTEN actually claims that the battery life can actually last for up to 24 hours at proper volume. Don't ask me what they mean by proper volume, I'm not very sure as well. Right, but on my own testing, now, each day, I will actually play music for about 4 hours a day. 4 hours straight at 30% volume. Now, the speaker battery was actually able to last for the first 6 days, and it died 2 hours into day number 7. Alright, so that will actually works out to be 26 hours of playtime, which is very, very impressive. And I guess that you should actually get lower hours, if you decide to crank it up to higher volume levels. The speaker actually utilizes USB-C. As you can see from here, it actually utilizes USB-C charging port, which also comes with fast charging. It takes around 3 hours to fully charge this tiny fella from 0 to 100. So when you plug in the USB-C cable, you will actually see a solid red light lighting up. And then once it's fully charged, the red light will go off. Oh, and one more thing, you can actually continue to play, whatever music, while it's actually charging, if that's what you're concerned about. The second thing I like is actually its waterproof capability. The E7 speaker is actually IPX7 waterproof rated. Now, what does that mean is that even if you were to accidentally drop the E7 speaker into a 1 meter deep water, it can continue to work for up to 30 minutes. Now, the third thing I like about the E7 speaker is also the first thing I dislike, and that is actually music quality. DUOTEN actually mentioned that this E7 speaker is armed with a 52mm trumpet or driver with X bass indicator. The audio output is around 20 watts. total harmonic distortion is around 10%. Audio frequency is from 100 Hz to 18 kHz. It supports popular audio codec like MP3, WMA, and Flex. Now, the E7, it actually allows users to play music via Bluetooth or aux-in or directly via the micro SD card. Still, even though this speaker actually has a 52mm driver with subwoofer, the music quality wise, generally there are hits and misses. Now what I like is that the audio output of this speaker is pretty loud, even at a low 30% volume level. As you crank up the volume, the bass will start to kick in. Along with it, you can enjoy some visual entertainment as well, as the subwoofer will start dancing together with the RGB LED lights. Vocals are clear and crisp. Instruments like strings and pianos are clean. Bass is decent generally. You can feel some tubs when the bass kicks in. So next, it's actually a series of sound clips to actually show you the sound quality of the E7 speaker.
Never tell, just trust that I'll keep it locked in a cell. Never revealing no secrets you're keeping, these promises strong as a spell.
But that's what I dislike, is that it's the lack of details in the deeper and darker bass, especially when it comes to rock, EDM, house, or certain songs which place more emphasis and detail on bass. So for some of you here who like, to have more bass, I would actually advise you don't set your bar too high on this. Now, this lack of details is also quite obvious when you're watching, certain genre of videos or movies which it also places a lot of emphasis on rich and fuller sound effects such as fighting, shooting, explosions. So again, don't set your bar too high on this. But still, I would say that the DUOTEN E7 Bluetooth speaker is great for general music enjoyment. Watching videos like explanatory videos, general movies, and listening to audiobooks, no issue. The second thing I dislike is actually the lack of indication. Now, from what you have seen so far in terms of the physicality of the speaker, you'll realize that there is actually no clear indication for volume level. So it actually takes a few trial and errors to get kinda the right volume level, kind of like judge where it is, alright, without looking at the monitor or your mobile phone to see where is the volume level. Now the second thing is that there's actually no clear indication on the battery level, even though it's actually packed with a 2800 milliamp internal battery, but I still feel that without any clear indication, I'm not able to tell, what is the current battery level. But of course, I hope that in future iterations or future versions, DUOTEN will actually include some form of indications for volume level and battery level. The third thing I dislike about the E7 is, of course, the microphone quality. Now, it actually comes with one built-in microphone, for you to answer your phone calls or to make phone calls, but I would say that the microphone quality is not very good, even when I was actually making or answering phone calls while I'm actually at home. I mean, like I'm in the room or I'm actually in the living room. The microphone quality is not very good. The general feedback is that my voice, it sounds muffled. It's like I'm talking behind something, like, there's something blocking me, or between the microphone and me, there's something between it, So I would say I wouldn't really recommend anyone to actually answer or make phone calls with the DUOTEN E7 speaker. Right, so at the end of the day, let's look at the pros and cons. I like the E speaker for its battery life, it's waterproof, and of course it has decent music quality. The cons, of course, is lack of stronger bass. There's no indication for volume level and battery level. It has also poor microphone quality. But of course, are they worth it? Is it worthwhile to get the DUOTEN E7 Bluetooth speaker? In my own personal opinion, at less than $30 US, this is by far one of the best I had fiddled around with. This is a small fella. I would say it's a small and powerful fella which I can strap it to my bicycle. I can strap it to my bag when I'm going for hiking, a day at the beach, or I'm having a picnic with my friends and family. So all in all, I would say I really truly enjoy it. So if you want, the link is below. Feel free to go and check it out. And there you have it. These are my personal thoughts on the DUOTEN E7 Bluetooth wireless speaker. I hope it helped you. If it did, it'll be great. You can actually smash the like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't, but most importantly, share my content with your friends if they are actually considering to get a portable Bluetooth speaker. Last but not least, if you have any questions about this speaker, feel free to drop them in the comment section below. That's all the time we have. My name is Johnny, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye! Guys, let up. Bye-bye!